We stay hungry, we devour. Put in the work,
Put in the work,
hours,
put in
and
the
take
hours.
what's ours. Like in some more in my veins, my culture banging with strange. I change the game, so what's my
What's my
motherfucking
motherfucking
name?
name? That's our
Okay.
beginning. I think we're on.
Are we on?
I don't know. Are we?
Are we on?
Oh my god. Kai doesn't give us a clear indicator. He just
That is
starts
the indicator.
music.
That is the
He's
indicator.
supposed to count us off.
What do you mean? We've been counting for like 20 minutes. It's fine.
Oh my god. No, we
He's
have not.
conditioning us to just use that as our
Yeah.
start button.
True.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
Very true. All right. Hi guys. It's us again.
Hello.
It's the Radcast. It's me, Alovelybrat, aka Soph.
It's me, Bengo. It's the same shit.
It's the same shit. Welcome back. Or if you're new,
Hi.
welcome. Hi. We're rats.
Don't
and we
run.
talk about stuff, things, TikToks perhaps,
Perhaps.
stale dramas even,
Yeah.
stale memes even.
Go
It's all
piss,
here.
girl.
Go piss, girl. No. All right. So, Bengo, you have mentioned that
Mhm.
you have some tea on TikTok that you wanted to talk about.
Yeah. Over the like year or two of like just sleuthing on TikTok daily because we've all been locked inside of our homes.
Uh-huh.
I've come across many sides of TikTok like most people do. And the best part about coming across random genres of TikTok is finding like the beefs of TikTok. Like I've gotten onto witch beef TikTok, which is very surface
Oh
level.
my god.
Like where witches will be like, y'all girls gotta know what you're doing before you actually perform
Yes,
a ritual.
I've been on that side of TikTok as well.
It's amusing because I get like no context of like what the girl did or like what another witch did or what's going on.
I
I
get a
just see
lot
an
of like
angry witch.
I get a lot of witches being like, that's a closed practice. This is misinformation. And I'm like, this is all made
Damn.
up, but okay.
Yeah, I'm like, damn, okay, but I'm not
The
gonna.
witches are gonna hex me, dude.
Yeah,
They're gonna hear
you're
me
dead
say that.
now.
I'm dead, dude. None of the witch lesbians will want anything to do
Listen,
with me.
when it comes to that stuff, I'm like, you do your thing. I just would like a little context. Like when I go into the comment section, I'd like somebody to at least explain what's going on to me.
You know, the first thing we do is run to the comment section.
Yeah.
Somebody help me.
Another TikTok beef that I got onto was beekeeper beef.
Oh, what? Okay.
Yeah, so I was just scrolling and then there was this beekeeper who was like, "This girl is a fucking liar and she's being dangerous about how she's showing these bees." And it was basically like about the like weird chick who was like really quiet and almost like verging on ASMR when she's like manhandling these bees with like her bare hands.
I saw that. That was on my. I didn't see the beef, but I did see her.
Yeah, yeah, it was about her and how she's like making a lot of misinformation and like misrepresenting how to actually handle, especially the type of bees that she was supposedly
What?
handling.
You're telling me
And
you
then
shouldn't hold bees with your
with your
bare
bare
hands?
hands, and then on top of that, because apparently the type of bees she was dealing with were hyper aggressive, and this other beekeeper was showing videos of what it's like to actually deal with these bees. And then and then also she was like, and also, this girl doesn't actually really deal with the bees. She just poses with the bees. And I was like, damn, it's deep over here. Like,
Bruh, the drama.
so like, yeah, she was like, you don't actually deal with the bees. It's your husband's business. It was a lot. It was a lot. It was a lot to take in one day. It was a lot of tea.
You know what? That reminds me of all of the people on TikTok who have been confirmed to be faking different disabilities.
Oh my god, I want to get to that, but first, my last beef that I have
Okay.
on the list is ballet beef. I have ballet beef
What?
TikToks. I've seen two now of two separate like beefs of different ballerinas on TikTok like shitting on each other.
Have you danced ballet?
I did ballet. I did a bit of ballet, yeah.
Okay, so TikTok has you figured out.
It finessed me.
Yeah.
It probably was the fact that I watched a couple like dance TikToks, like official teams, not just TikTok dancers.
Right.
Um, but I like the first one that I found was like a one of them was like the caption was like my shoes definitely fit, and then she's like wearing like super small point shoes to like clown on people who like wear super small like point shoes for some sort of effect. It was like really strange. And then there was another one who was like I can definitely do this, like do this dance move, and then they're like not on point when doing it because they can't actually get their themselves onto point, which is the act of getting them on, getting your foot onto that wood block in the shoe, right?
Right.
And so she's just like, it's just a video of her like clowning on these people who don't actually go on point. And I'm like, it's like 2 a.m. and I'm like, where am I? Like, why am I watching somebody just clown on another person who can't get on point yet? I
Okay.
don't know where I am.
My favorite is definitely the bee one. The bee one is so
The B
random.
one is so, yeah, it was so out of pocket. I was like
The bee one
eating
is
lunch, and then this girl's like, she's faking it. And I was like, go off, I guess. You
that's the
know?
kind of beef that I enjoy watching play out because it's so niche.
Yeah, it was so niche, and I love niche beef.
Niche
Then
beef is the best because you don't know what's going on. You just see people fighting, and you're
you're
like, "This
not
is
a part of the
great."
community. You're an outsider. You got no perspective on what works and what doesn't and what
Exactly.
they're supposed to be doing. So you're
So
just
you
like
just
watching.
you're just watching two people complain or back and forth about
About
something that you have no
yeah,
knowledge about, and it's so entertaining.
but disorder faking TikTok?
Oh my god, okay. So I watched a YouTube video about this. I don't think I've ever, encountered any in the wild. I think
I've
I'd like to
never
think that all of the people that I get on my For You page are being honest with their disabilities because I am on disability talk, right?
same.
But there's one girl who is, or I don't know if it was, there's one person,
Yeah, just use they them if you don't know.
yeah, who was confirmed to definitely be faking their whole disability. They were pretending to have uh Tourette's.
Oh my, that's so common on TikTok.
Why do people do that for clout? It's so
It's
stupid.
so cringe. Like
She
it's
okay,
just straight up cringy.
and the funniest part is she gave it away. She could have gotten away with it if she hadn't so she was like taking a video of herself and she kept saying wow, right? Like that was supposed to be the
I think I
tick.
know the I think I know what you're doing. I think I know this person.
And then she was like, or they were like, because I don't know what they go by, but they were like, "Oh, I I have the kind of Tourette's where I don't swear," and then cuts to a different TikTok they made where
Where
they're
they're
like,
swearing.
"Fuck!" They literally scream, "Fuck!"
I've I've seen so many clips of like fake Tourette's TikToks
Oh,
because like there's so many and it's like the smoking gun in my opinion, and I don't have Tourette's. I don't know the ins and outs of it, and it's not like something that I have a lot of say in, but it is
yeah,
just like a noticeable thing that every single person who fakes their Tourette's is always so pleased to have a tick or like super
yeah.
excited to have
They
ticks.
so you can tell they're faking it when they laugh at it afterward.
And there's people who have fun, like there are people with Tourette's who do have made their coping mechanisms and have fun with their Tourette's. Like Sweet Nita, what a Twitch streamer who has Tourette's,
Yes.
is always
Yeah.
very sweet about it and is like, she does what she can to deal with the fucking fact that she has Tourette's. Like,
Yeah, and it's
but these people are
to
like ecstatic.
you can tell they, like, turn it on for the camera too.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I wanna say it's really hard to tell because there are some people that have Tourette's that end up being accused that they don't have it, and I don't think that should be the standard. I think everyone should just assume someone has it until proven otherwise, but there are instances where, like, in the instance of the person I'm talking about, it was, like, obvious they were making it up. It was so obvious. They would, like, have other videos of them doing other shit where they wouldn't have a tick at all. But then
Yeah.
in their Tourette's videos, suddenly they're doing, like, their tics are constant. I'm like, "This is bullshit." Like, and then, of course, the inconsistencies, and then at one point, they, like, try to prove it by showing a medical diagnosis, but all of the people who are, like, med students in the TikTok comments are picking it apart for how wrong it is. So, I
Yeah.
mean, the smoking gun is they deleted their TikTok and they haven't been online since, so
My thing is always when it comes to, like, people who fake ticks and stuff like that is it's always so noticeable because they always act like it's such a cute thing to have, and especially with the type of Tourette's that they always act like they have, which is severe
yeah.
Tourette. M
Whereas you see someone who is confirmed to have it, you know they have it, there's a
they
difference,
are only
there's a
making videos a lot for awareness or just because they like making YouTube videos or TikToks.
and they aren't like, I don't know, there's a certain vibe about it. But I also don't want people to think that they should just trust their gut because that's
We
how
all saw w
ableism
Yeah.
is perpetuated,
And
so
we all saw how that worked out when it came to in my own experience of like 2016, like trans medicalist versus
yeah,
trans trender drama happened. Like everyone was assuming that if you were not a certain standard of trans, you're like not a
that
real
goes
trans
for
person.
that goes for people with disabilities too, but yeah, there is examples of people who definitely fake shit. There's
Hmm.
another TikTok of a girl in a wheelchair, and she's, like, rolling around. She's she claims that she is, or they are, what is it called? Paralyzed from the waist down, and then you
Mm.
see their legs move!
Oh God.
You see their legs
The
straight up,
worst
like,
part is that's
move!
like the worst part is that only brings the stigma against people who are like who only sometimes need their chair or like who
Yeah,
can have moments and instances of being able to walk. But
definitely, those
then
people exist.
as soon as people fake things like that, then those people get stigmatized of like, well, why aren't you just walking all the time if you're faking it
Exactly.
like this?
Definitely. I It's these stupid fucking people who are clout goblins, straight up.
They are. They're honestly,
There's
and the like influx of DID fakers
Oh my god, dude.
and the
Yes,
whole like
you know
fictive
what's
drama.
so ironic about that is that they don't even know how DID works, and they're, like, claiming to have it, and I think that's the funniest part is they give themselves away with how little they know.
I
It's like,
know.
if you're gonna fake a fucking, like, disorder, at least do your fucking research, you idiots.
I encountered somebody who was like, my alter is Sky does Minecraft, and I was like, I
I
need to
mean,
go home.
the thing is, there are people who have DID that have, like, fictional characters as their alters, but
It's like
the
really low
low.
fucking chances over here.
I'm just like, how are there so many people with DID all of a sudden? But
Exactly.
then again, a part of me's like, there are probably a lot more people with DID than we know, but they don't get diagnosed. And now there's
Yeah.
more exposure to the internet. So
It's probably a mixture of those things because
it's
mental illness is
hard.
a common can be commonly faked because
I
of
also
just
don't
clout.
want to make the argument that, like, I don't want of course, we don't wanna normalize just assuming people are faking because guess what? Same vibes for gay people, like, all of a sudden
Mhm.
or trans people, when they start getting more acceptance, more people come out. Then it's like, how are there so many of you?" But it's bullshit. Like, of course there's gonna be more because they're coming out,
Yeah,
because they feel more comfortable. But that
and there's more safe
being said,
spaces.
there TikTok is full of clout goblins that will do anything for a little ounce of the clout
Yeah,
juice.
because you can, like, when it harkening back to the drama that I know about and I'm a lot more knowledgeable in, of, like, the giant trans debate of the 2016 area, there probably were a couple people who weren't actually trans, but the way I always think about it and the way I always feel about that situation looking back on it is, like, their gender identity was something that they were figuring out, and it's not something that you can immediately, like, confirm permanently.
Yeah.
So all those people that you are claiming are transgenders or, like, are certain groups of people in that situation were probably figuring themselves out and where they sit on the spectrum and shouldn't be immediately lambasted for trying to find themselves and then being like, "Oh, trans doesn't actually fit me. Like, trans masculine doesn't actually fit me."
And I think that can be pretty applicable for people who are figuring out what mental illnesses they have. Uh Something I've seen is a lot of people like to shit on self-diagnosis, and I don't think that's fair.
Mhm.
Uh because first of all, the medical system in the US, I can only speak for the US, but medical system here is ass, and a lot of
And
people.
the mental health, system here, especially for younger people, is not the greatest and not the most
Yeah.
helpful from what I've seen and what I've experienced. It's not really the
Same
most
here.
great.
Same here. I've had really bad experiences, traumatizing experiences with doctors in where I live. So I understand the value of a self-diagnosis because, I mean, if you don't have access to doctors and maybe you also have issues going to doctors, whether it be a traumatizing experience or you literally can't because you can't afford it, yeah, I think that there is so much value in that, but I see people shitting on it all the time, like how people shouldn't self-diagnose. It's the same energy as uh like saying you don't know your own gender identity, in the
Yeah.
sense of don't.
If you don't get the permission slip that you have
Yes,
gender
you have to be
dysphoria.
validated by other people. And the thing about a diagnosis is it is a medical thing, so I understand there's a difference.
Mhm.
Uh Not necessarily in, like, if you wanna transition, you do have to get
Yeah.
medical
You do need
confirmation,
to be diagnosed, yeah, to actually transition.
but I don't know, dude, I see people shitting on all the time when it's so valuable, but then at the
I
same time, there are people who, like, will hyperfixate on a diagnosis that they definitely don't have.
Yeah.
So it's a nuanced conversation that I'm tired of people, like, simplifying because they have feelings about it, you know?
Yeah. That's how I always feel about these situations, and especially in, like, the past of, like, all of the identity, the nightmare that was, like, the boom of the identity issues of, like, making it so black and white and, like,
Yeah.
so it has to be one way or the other.
There's no
Well, it's
nuance.
yeah, like, there's so many levels to this conversation, and there's so many bits and pieces in the conversation, especially when it comes to people faking mental illness, of you know, there are certain people who do have mental illness that they need to get that are underlying under this mental illness that they are masking or, like, acting
Right,
like they
yes,
have,
like,
or
the
they're just clout people, or it's somebody who has it. Like,
well,
there's levels.
I can argue that the people that are faking it, they probably do have mental problems aside from the thing they're faking, and
Yeah.
the whole, like, going on the internet and faking a, uh, disorder is probably a symptom of some mental health problems that they have. So, we just don't know what people are going through. It's the same
I
it's a
think there's a
similar
mixture of
vibe.
that because I think also another part of it is that a lot of them a lot of the ones that I've seen are just younger people.
Yes,
So I
they're all
think there's
really
also a
young.
lot of younger, immature, growing up people that are finding a way to get attention. It's like, how people would fake cancer.
Yeah. Yeah, I think people I'm tired of the black and white takes online
Yeah,
of,
same.
like
I think there's too many that yeah, there's too much nuance to these conversations, and there's too many like little details when people get too on one side, it erases a lot of the conversation that could be had.
I wanna normalize self-diagnosis, uh, for the sake of, like, you wanna do that before you go to a doctor, because also a lot of the time, doctors will look at you and be like, "No, you're fine," because the system sucks, and doctors are taught shitty things. Like, if we think doctors aren't transphobic or, uh have ableist ideas, you're wrong because 'cause they're people. So, like, self-diagnosis and trusting your gut about those things is so important. You have to kind
I
of
think
advocate for yourself.
yeah, and also another important thing, and this is just if you're in Canada, there are clinics and places that you can go to that are a lot more geared towards a safer environment if you're worried about things like your identity and your sexuality coming into question. There
Right.
are clinics that are geared a lot more towards being for minorities and groups of people who do not want to get fucking the bullshit end of
Yeah.
the stick.
Yeah.
So finding
That's sick.
those can also help you get a diagnosis that you feel like, or get a doctor or a diagnosis you feel a lot more comfortable getting with a doctor that's not going to be super rude.
The closest we have to that here is we have a women's clinic.
Oh,
I don't think we have, like, queer focused medical here. I'm not sure. I'm unsure about that, but our
yeah,
system where I live is bad.
I go to a specific clinic that's geared towards more focusing on like LGBT youth and adults, I'd assume, and
Nice.
homeless the homelessness in where I live and stuff like that.
Bruh, that's so good. We don't have shit like that here.
Oh,
Yeah,
actually,
it's
we
like a
do.
We
y-
do?
Yes, through the PCP that you are part of, that shall be named, has
Don't.
LGBT services.
Oh, Pog. Okay, that's cool. The sad part though is I know that people are not infallible and they will have some internalized
the
like
thing.
shit that you have to deal with in
Yeah.
the medical system. Just
The thing is about those types of like clinics is that you do have to like sometimes it does feel like you're going under like a weird like passing notes type deal of trying to figure out what's the best one for you. Because I do
yeah.
remember having to go from like my teacher to the actual like full big like sexual health center, and then I went to the clinic that I'm currently with.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's
So
one
it's
of those.
it's you gotta bounce around. You
I'd say
gotta
a big
figure it out.
concern of the services that are provided here is not necessarily the system, but the people that operate it and what
Hmm.
kind of phobias they carry. Because
Yeah, well, people are not infallible and
yeah,
they've been taught something culturally that you're going to inevitably deal with people who have internalized misogyny, uh homophobia, transphobia. It's not you can't escape it. It's everywhere, right?
yep,
Yeah.
So, that's something also ableism. I've met so many people in the medical field that are just ableist as fuck.
Yeah.
No tea, no shade, but, like, my mom is a nurse, and, I would argue that she has, like, some beliefs that I would say are not appropriate to be in a medical position. Like,
That's fucked up.
she used to be anti, what is it called? Vaccine. Like, she
Ugh,
would
a
I didn't
anti-vaxxer?
I was an anti-vax kid, like, obviously, I don't think she holds the same beliefs now.
I
Um,
hope not.
I don't know. I don't have too much contact with her, T, but, uh, there are people out there who have bad beliefs that work in the medical system, and that's something you have to be aware of, and that's why I'm a big advocate for self-diagnosis so you can prepare yourself for the road to get the diagnosis because you're going to have
I
to fight for that diagnosis.
I think also it's just really important to knowledge yourself on these topics and like, I think it's just important to know yourself and just like learning is always very handy when it comes to like your mental health in general.
I got disconnected.
Oh,
I'm back. Sorry. I don't know what happened there. We're back.
it's a bit of awkwardness.
Awkward silence. I couldn't hear you. I was like, "What's going
I
on?
was
What
just
did I miss?"
talking about I was just talking about how like it's important sometimes to like learn like know yourself, like understand
Yes.
the things yourself and just knowledge yourself on all of the topics of what you think you might have or the symptoms you might have so that you could work towards the solutions or the helping coping mechanisms, you feel?
Yeah. This is like I'm someone who hasn't gone to the doctor to get a diagnosis yet, but I'm pretty sure I have like ADHD. And I've like been bombarded with information about ADHD and autism and how I definitely fall somewhere on that spectrum, but I have never been diagnosed. I'm like I'm a 23-year-old fucking person and I went all my life without getting the resources that I could have had. And so I'm continuously going to be like self-diagnose or at least have an idea of what you think you have so in the future or whenever you need to, you can go get diagnosed and get the help you need.
I've personally never self-diagnosed myself with a mental illness. The only thing I've really known for certain is my gender identity that I'm just a dude. So
He's a
that's
guy,
I'm
everybody.
just a guy. I'm just a guy. Um, that's the only thing I've ever really been like solid on, and anything other than that, I've always just been like kind of scarce on because of the whole conversation surrounding self-diagnosis and how awkward it can get.
Fuck it, I don't care. I probably have ADHD. It's all pointing
Fair
to it.
enough. Yeah, I mean, fair enough.
I mean, obviously, if you're self-diagnosing with things that are, like, even more intense, I think, yeah, I don't think the end of the
Yeah.
road is the self-diagnosis. I think the self-diagnosis is just the beginning. That's my point, is self-diagnosis is very valuable to people who want to go get help in the future and
Yes.
maybe look into if they think they have a disorder of some sort, they can look into what the solutions for that disorder are and start, using those solutions.
Self-diagnosis is a step towards dealing with your mental health.
Yes, that's what I
Not
think.
an excuse, nor is it a way to get clout.
Well, I mean, don't tell that to TikTok because
I know.
we got a lot of people on TikTok using
A
their
lot of
self-diagnosis
an
as clout.
influx of people who have, like, dream alters, it's wild.
But, uh,
Fucking
man,
crazy.
let's not even get into the dream SMP
Bruh,
shit.
dream gender, dream sexual, fucking
Is that
well,
really a
you
thing? I
yeah,
mean,
they were trying.
whatever. They're kids. I can't even be mad because it's all kids.
There is, but it's so fucking cringy. I can't not.
Listen, we used to be cringy too, all
I
right?
know, but, like, dream gender? Are you fucking kidding me?
Listen, it's cringy, but
I
they're
stand by that,
kids.
it's cringy.
Yeah, I guess we're allowed to laugh at them a little bit,
Is
no
that
doubt.
is it like
Just a
new
little.
gen kinning? Is that the equivalent?
Yes.
I mean, people used to clown on people who kin things, and now it's part of, like, I don't
It's
know,
normal.
it's totally normalized, and I love it. Like, I claim the term kinning, and I use it, so
I just I don't know, I think it's just because I hate the Dream SMP.
Oh, no, don't say that. Don't say
No,
that.
I stand by that. I don't like it at all.
Dude, I'm pretty sure there's a few Dream SMP people that follow me on Instagram, and I'm, like, sweating. I'm like, "You guys, if I'm
You guys
scared to
say the
say
wrong
anything.
thing.
It's
If
like
I say
it's
the
like
wrong thing,
it's
you
like
guys are
going
gonna
onto
stab me."
Twitter and saying I hate BTS. Like you better
Yes,
bust a
no,
sweat.
literally.
You better
I'm
like be sweating
scared.
typing that in.
I'm
I
scared,
just
I'm scared.
I just hate the, like, toxic culture that
Yeah, well, we've
the
talked about it.
yeah. I
We
hate
hate
the
the
toxic culture
shipping
that's been,
culture.
like, created, and also the amount of shit that the fans can get away with, and just the exhausting amount of shit that's just come out of it. It's the same. It's a mixture. I just don't really like the whole culture, like the My Hero Academia Dream SMP culture.
Oh god, the My Hero Academia culture got me fucked up. I hate that. I
Yeah,
with
the My
peace
Hero
and
Academia
love
fandom. With war and hate, I hate the My Hero Academia
with
fandom.
peace and love, they make good art, but, like, that's
I
the same thing for the Dream SMP people, like, you
Yeah,
make good art, but chill out.
a quick disclaimer for anyone who cannot read between the lines. In the great words of the new, like, The Incredibles clip, Skippy over here made it hard for me. Incredible, the new TikTok trend. There are some people in these communities that don't suck, and like there are clearly a group of people in the fandom that make the rest of the fandom look bad. But you know what I can say, that I don't like that fandom because of those people, but it doesn't mean that I don't like you as a person.
Nah, I hate you as a person. How
Yeah,
dare you
if you take the
watch
first
funny
step,
little
you're a part of the
things.
problem.
Yeah, what the hell? I'm dreamophobic.
If somebody said that to me with a straight face, I'd laugh. I'd laugh in their face. If they were like, "You're
I'm
dreamophobic," I'd go, "Uh-huh."
I am dreamophobic. Okay, but so you know Sadist for on YouTube?
Yeah.
I That's the only reason why I know anything about the Dream SMP because I love her work and I watch everything she uploads because she's excellent at animating on threes. I could talk about her work forever. So that's why I'm hesitant to be like the Dream SMP sucks, but at the same time, like I don't know. It's kind of
Yeah.
like all of the main characters are guys. I know there are people who are streaming and it's like a whole role play situation, but like all of the main characters are dudes. Like,
Well, that doesn't really shock me because of, like, the whole, like the majority not to how do I say this
oh,
nicely?
oh, he's
It
gonna say
doesn't
something
shock
spicy.
me because the 90% of the fandom is female, and, like
Boo! What about the gays, huh?
and
No, the gays.
the
I
gays
mean,
don't really care.
I was
I
gonna
don't
say I
really
don't
think
know
a
if the
lot of gays care.
gays
I don't think it's a
watch
gay
Dream
thing.
SMP. No, I don't think so either. I don't think the
It's a
gays are
lot of
claiming it.
okay, it's a lot of gays and a lot of people. Yeah, it's a lot of claiming. Um, it's a lot of God.
Be careful with your words.
I'm
Watch
trying.
what you say, Bengo.
When it comes to the fandom, it's a lot of young. The majority, from what I've seen, has been a lot of young females and a lot of young female presenting.
Yeah, I've seen that too, and
So
I
it's a lot of people who like to watch male creators because they're young females and they
bleh.
like to fetishize gay relationships.
Oh, that too. Yeah, the whole shipping real people together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just what we saw from like it's just they're the new gen Jacksepticeye PewDiePie Markiplier. That's pretty much what my point is at this point. Is that it's just that. But they're annoying.
Listen, we were just as annoying.
We were. Oh, I definitely was.
Okay,
I watched PewDiePie a lot, so yeah.
do we want to talk about the other topic?
Oh, yeah, that's a great idea.
I'm gonna need you to
So
bring the
now that
stream
we've
back
pissed
up.
off the Dream SMP, let's let's piss off the Christians.
Yay! We got 2 Christian men we're gonna beef with today.
2 Christian men that don't know who we are,
And we'll never know who we are,
and
let's
we'll
face
never
it.
know. But if one of them actually came for us, I call that a win.
That's a
That is
dub.
a win.
That's a
That's a
dub.
dubski.
Yo,
That's a
we're
dub,
just
'cause
playing
home-
around all of these sensitive people because the odds that one of them respond is kind
I
of
feel
high.
like the odds of a certain one, and you know who I'm thinking of,
Hey, yo,
responding
Kai.
are high.
You're not streaming though. I gotta see it.
Yeah, we can't. We're in the dark over here.
Oh, I see. Here. There you go.
Okay.
Little tech
All right.
issues, but we're getting
Tech
through it.
issues.
I don't know why
Okay,
it stopped
so
streaming.
Butch Hartman, don't play the TikTok.
We're
You don't
starting
even
with
need to play the
Butch.
TikTok. There's the art. If you guys don't know who Butch is, which I think probably everyone does, but we're gonna give a little breakdown. Butch Hartman was I don't know, what was he like?
Butch Hartman's main cling to fame has been Fairly Odd Parents and Danny Phantom,
Yes,
because
yes.
he was the creative
I think he was the creative
forefront.
director
Yeah, he was the
or
creative director. He's it's usually Fairly
something.
Odd Parents by Butch Hartman. So his name is always on those shows. It was one of the most long-running shows on Nickelodeon next to was SpongeBob on Nickelodeon? It was, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's kind of like Butch Hartman's what he's mainly known for, creating the iconic characters Danny Phantom and Timmy Turner.
He has been a part of projects that are I don't know, iconic.
Belong to a generation. I remember
Yeah.
always watching Fairly Odd Parents.
Fairly Odd Parents was like an essential cornerstone
Mm-hmm.
of childhood memory, you know?
Doug
But
Dimmadome.
Doug
that's
Dimmadome.
that's why it's so disappointing to find out that one of the creators, like the guy who's the face of the project, is like a fucking piece of shit. Like, let's
An egotistical, annoying, Christian scamming
so
douchebag.
you're probably wondering, how did this guy go from fame and acclaim to us both hating him? And the internet kind of hates him too. So
Pretty much all of the art community doesn't like him on the internet.
let's talk about all of his wrongs, okay? And let's start with Oaxis.
Oh fuck.
So Oaxis was his whole, I think it was a Kickstarter.
Yes, it was started as a
It was a
Kickstarter.
Kickstarter. So I have an article open so I don't fuck things up, but
I'm so proud of you. You have your research done.
I do have my research open. I've also watched countless videos about the situation because I think Butch Hartman is hilarious because he's such a mess. He's a messy guy.
He is a
So
mess.
Oh, specifically Oaxis Entertainment, not Oaxis Official, which is a technology
okay,
company.
Oaxis Entertainment, and he put it out on Kickstarter, and his whole thing was, he was using his past credentials of creating quote unquote Fairly Odd Parents and Danny Phantom, and he was like, "Oh, I want to make a safe space for your kids where they have animation to watch, and it'll be a new platform, right?" He was like picking it up. Do you want to know how much money he raised for this shit?
How much money did it make?
$2 million, I'm
Okay.
guessing.
No, not anywhere close to that. He made
200,000.
$268,000
Ooh.
from
Hey, I was close.
crowdfunding.
Okay,
So
but the
other
thing about
people's money.
Oaxis though
Hold
was
on,
that
I'm getting there. I'm
oh, you're
getting
gonna
there.
get there? Okay.
Yes. So he raises the money and then it just stops updating. Like
No,
he hit
you missed the part about Oax.
no,
No, we're gonna get
no,
there.
we're gonna get there. I
Why are
think.
you holding this information for so long?
Oh, just wait.
It's the crux of the whole reason Oaxis happened.
I know, but he releases it later. So when people start asking questions because he stopped updating people on the Kickstarter and he just went quiet about it. People are like, "Yo, what the hell's going on?" And he was like, "Actually, this is a Christian platform
Ah,
that we're
there it
gonna
is.
have Christian videos on there, and people were so
It's a
upset.
bait and switch. That's right.
And guess what? Not a single person got their money back. He
Ah,
took the money and he ran and he made one series for the platform and then dipped.
yeah.
That series is somewhere on the internet. You can try to find it. It's bad. It's a Christian show. It's bad.
It's ugh.
It's also, I'm pretty sure it's like animated in Flash, which peace and love.
A
There's
choice.
some really good Flash animations, but this was not one of them.
Like
Regardless,
the whole
you gotta
purpose.
trust the process, Bengo.
Well, I'm sorry. It was
You
just
were trying
taking
to jump
so
the
long.
gun. I was getting there. I was storytelling. Come on. It
Were you
was the
storytelling or
twist.
were you reading the article?
I wasn't reading the article. That was
Oh,
storytelling.
you were
I just looked at the
storytelling.
article for specifics, like the amount of money that they took and all that good stuff.
Ah,
But yeah, so he he rips people off and he totally misrepresented what his plan was. There's also video of him on stage before he officially announced that it was a Christian network saying, "We're taking over. We're we're gonna teach the youth," or like something along those lines. I'm paraphrasing. But he was totally giving himself away on his true intentions at like a Christian meetup or something. And
yeah.
then he announced it online and shit hit the fan. So he's been in the negative public eye for a while because that was, I'm not sure what year that happened in. It was like 2018, 2019, I think, because it was after he left Nickelodeon. Which, like, I have my own theories of why he left Nickelodeon, but I'll keep them to myself. Uh, Regardless, yeah, he ripped people off. Totally ripped people off, got away with it. And then, so let's get to the commissions part.
Oh, goody.
So, Homie has $200 commissions. And Kai, can you pull up the Mikasa photo for me, please? Thank you. So here's an example of a commission that he did that was $200. Someone commissioned him to draw Mikasa, and then the internet was like, "This is sus. This looks familiar." And sure enough, they found another artist. It's like one of the first things that pops up, or at the time, it was one of the first art pieces that popped up when you Googled Mikasa Attack on Titan. Uh, so he totally like
Yeah, like
heavily referenced it.
the whole basis of his art now is just taking things from Google, like Google Images, and then drawing it.
Yeah. He doesn't watch he doesn't watch the media. He's a poser, okay? Which, like, it's fine. Like, if you get
Well,
commissioned, you don't have
it's
to
not even
know
the
about
fact
it.
that he's a poser, it's the fact that he literally can't draw
Well,
outside
I was
of.
saying for the sake of, like, the next part I'm gonna get to, his TikTok, he's
Oh.
making anime content when he clearly doesn't watch anime. Let's
He's
just
not
say
just
that.
making anime contact. Breaking news. He also drew for the Dream SMP.
Oh my god, yeah, the Dream SMPers did not care for that. I do know that, and they were right to be not pleased by that. But yeah, he has this whole advertising where he's a professional and he worked on the Fairly Odd Parents. He likes to say he's the creator, but I want to tell you he was not doing all of the work, okay? He took the credit for people who were underpaid in comparison to him and did more work than he did. So let's not pretend like he actually did anything helpful. like he's with his artistic skill, I don't know if he ever was like super good at what he does. But anyway, this was a $200
His
commission that he basically just like he didn't add anything to this, let's face it.
he ruined the original image
Yeah,
because
I
style. You could call it style. You could call it whatever, but it's not good.
it's bad style.
It's not good. It's just not good. He can't draw outside of that Danny Phantom art style, and once he does, he struggles to actually create a good-looking character or follow any rules of anatomy.
So
because because anime styles are so heavily rooted in anatomy.
and I mean, they're just like any art style that's, like, leaning towards animation, a lot of it's exaggeration on proportions that already exist in real life. It's taking what exists and exaggerating it a little bit for that style, right?
Mhm.
Uh, he doesn't know like, when you watch him draw, this is why I wanna go to one of his TikToks. When you watch him draw, he doesn't use guidelines for a lot of the work he does,
That shit fucks me up. That shit makes no
which
sense.
some artists do, and it's insane. They can do it, like, spot on, right?
Which
But,
he can do in his art videos of his characters, like
like, yes,
Danny
he
Phantom and
clearly
such, because
he
he's
has
done
muscle
them.
memory of that. He's done them so many times that he can draw them without guidelines.
And
But
they
you see
look
him
fine
drawing.
because it makes sense.
Exactly. Yeah, but you see him draw anything outside of that, and it's rough. And I'm not clowning on him because I'm like, haha, bad artist. I mean, he is a bad artist, but the humor is that it's a dude who claims to be a professional, and he's taking commissions for $200 and then referencing an anime artist who's posting their art online for free. Like, let's not pretend like this guy is an shining example of what a professional artist looks like. He's
No.
washed up. He's washed up, and I like to clown on him.
Yeah, and he's so in his own ego about everything, about his art, and about the fact that he made the Fairly Odd Parents and stuff like that. So when he's so hung up on that, and it makes it so easy to clown on him. Like it makes it
Yeah.
so easy to be like, haha, you suck.
Because
Dunk.
he likes to big himself up, but that doesn't work when you don't have the portfolio to show for it. Like, a
I
portfolio, like, should be strong even in your later years, but if all you have is, "Oh, I I made The Fairly Odd Parents," which, by the way, again,
yeah.
discredits how many other people were working on that project and how he did not hand animate each episode, okay? Like, let's not pretend. He came up with the idea. He pitched the idea to Nickelodeon. He came up with the idea. He came up with some of the character designs, but other artists were involved. So when you see him on his own, he's weak as fuck.
Well, I think also he's trying so hard. He was trying so hard and is still trying to like weasel his way into the online art community, which
Yes.
is such a different world than what he's used to, which was his more like the childlike audience and the cover from Nickelodeon and all those
Yeah.
things.
Okay, Kai, can you play one of the TikToks without the sound? We don't need to hear him talk.
Yeah, we really don't.
I don't want to
He
hear him
uses
talk.
It's
no
funny, I accidentally played the
guideline.
audio.
Ugh.
Bruh. Okay, so this one's not so bad, but I included it because this is like his own character and he's totally making him look horrific. This is horrific to me. This is wrong. Also, his coloring skills are some of the worst coloring skills I've ever seen.
It's
With
very like it's very old.
with hate and war, learn new techniques. Like, your
You're
artists should
using
never
a
stop
digital
learning.
medium.
Yeah, the fuck?
And you're
Like, get
still
it together.
coloring like it's a piece of paper
Okay,
with a marker.
go to the next one, Kai. Go to the next one.
Ugh.
So, this is an example of him trying to infiltrate the artist community when it comes to anime. And he's been doing this for a while. He, like, draws fan art, quote unquote, of different anime, and you can just tell he doesn't understand the vibe of any of the anime he's, like, drawing. He's
Yeah,
looking at Google Images, and he, like, tries to make jokes about it, but it's just giving old man like, boomer online energy.
it does give off. He does give very boomer energy.
He, like, doesn't know what he's talking about, and he's still holding on to the idea that anyone cares what his art style looks like, we don't. With peace and love, I know there are
I
some people who see it and they're like, "Oh, wow, nostalgia," but if you're us, We know too much.
Yeah.
This guy ripped people off. Also, he has some really. Oh, I forgot to say. He has said that he believes autism can be cured.
That that's quite the take.
I allegedly he said that. I can't obviously. I don't want to get sued by anyone, but
Why did I think that was Chris Pratt?
I'm pretty sure Chris Pratt has said that too. It's a common thing with
Christians.
Christian dudes, Christian people. Yeah, they love to think that God will
We'll get
heal
to him. We'll
autism.
get to him.
We're gonna talk about Chris Pratt too. He's the other guy, but I mean, just look at this. Look at this. I just want to say this is horrific.
I it's rough. 'Cause like you can even put it in the perspective of other like artists, mostly an internet artist, but like Draw with Jazza. Like he's at least grown and continues to grow with the medium and
Right.
also his techniques and isn't just doing the same thing over and over again or like draws the same character because that's how he got popular
I think also Jazza has a good fucking nice personality.
and a good head on his shoulders.
I think he's a nice guy. Like he's not he's not out here trying to cure autism or uh like rip people off, you know?
Yeah.
Like he's just and also
Well,
I
it's
think
just a noticeable thing about the art differences
well,
of two creators.
I do think it's all about the ego and I think I will say that I think Butch has a massive fucking ego and it's gotten in the way of his own progression as an artist.
That's yeah, it's completely noticeable. He peaked at Fairly Odd Parents and doesn't know how to grow from that.
Yeah. Can you show the Sonic image? Hit
Or
him with the
don't.
Sonic image. No, please do.
Oh,
This is one of the worst ones in my opinion. This is horrific.
I hate it. I
This is
can't look
like
at the screen.
this is horrific. This is bad vibes all
I'm s-
around.
I'm sorry. No, I'm not. This isn't good.
I
It's
mean,
really not good. Like I think it's the eyes. No, it's all of it. It's the action lines that go in like 50 different directions to make the action completely separate. And then also his shadow has no action. So he's in a stagnant position, but also in movement in 50 different directions. But his character model has no action lines.
yeah. Okay, yeah, I just googled it.
I hate Butch's movement. I hate his flow in art. Ugh.
It's you can
I'm
tell it's old school, you know? Like he hasn't grown.
I'm no professional in
Yes,
any
you are.
means. Uh,
Yes, you
p-
are. A professional is someone who makes money off their work. You're a professional.
oh damn. Well,
Like
I'm not a super expert. I'm not a god.
there you go. There
I'm
you go. That's
nothing to be
better.
looked up to in a violent stance. But I at least know that there are tools that make it so that your action lines all go in the same fucking direction.
Yeah. Also,
And this
yeah,
is
I just confirmed that he did say that he and his wife could cure autism.
thank you for
Um
confirming that.
yeah, with worship and prayer, I think is what he said.
Oh,
So,
even worse.
um
Also, just I'm nitpicking, but the way he uses line weight is horrendous. Like,
I
cause
mean,
it's so thick on the hill, but then the character is so thin, but also
that's a
thick in like
huge
weird parts.
that the farther away, the thinner the lines are supposed to be. Like you're not supposed to. Yeah.
Exactly. And like it means that Sonic has no border. Like he has nothing to define himself in the
Also,
certain aspects, especially by his
the
shoe near the
action
hill.
lines are not
That's what
going in the same direction. Like that's
that's
something
what
I
I was
learned.
bitching about for like 2 minutes.
I mean, like, yeah, the action lines around him.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Okay, so when I was little, I was in like third grade, and my mom taught me that if you're gonna do lines, they have to be going in the same direction or it looks wrong.
It This is a nightmare to look at when it comes to
This
the action lines
I
because
mean,
they're
but
all going in 50 different directions.
are we not gonna talk about the eyes?
I don't I don't want to look at them.
Why did he draw the eyes like that?
I know.
What was
Why
going
does
through his head? I don't
not a
know.
lot.
He was thinking about Jesus and how he wants Jesus to touch his heart, you know?
I just also hate that Sonic is in perspective but not.
It's just off, man. It's the face for me. That's all it takes for me.
It's
That
the whole composition of this image for
also
me.
the I don't know, the hands look whack.
One the ha-
We
the
I love that
the
we can criticize this guy. I think the funniest part is that he's still trying to be a part of the online community because he wants to make money off of his art. But then he makes shit like this.
I know.
Like my guy.
I think it's the simple fact that, and I just want to preface this to everyone, that it's the fact that this man has put himself on such a high pedestal. Such a high pedestal.
The way he
If I
promotes
saw
himself,
this on DeviantArt randomly for free,
he'd get
I
bullied.
wouldn't bat an eye.
Oh, I would bully them maybe a little bit in
Okay,
my
maybe
head.
you would bully them.
In my
But I'd
head, I
pass
wouldn't
by
say
this
anything.
image. Yeah, I'd
Right.
pass by this image like,
Publicly, you
it's
would
an
say
artist
nothing.
in training. Yeah. I'd be like,
Exactly.
you're working on it. Everybody's working on it. Everybody's not perfect. But this is Butch Hartman. And he puts himself in that label. He puts himself under that label of, I am Butch Hartman. I am special. I'm better than the rest. And nobody can fuck with my art because I made Fairly Odd Parents and Danny Phantom.
Right, he just the way he
And then
promotes
makes
himself is he
this.
has this massive ego, and the way he talks about everything, you just tell the man is very egotistical. And listen, I'm pretty egotistical too, what can I say? But I think that if you let that consume you, you let it go to your head, you stop improving. And this I think he's a pure example of someone who he got to a point where he was getting all this praise, he was making a lot of money, he was in a he was at the top of his game. And at the top of his game, he decided that he was the best of the best and he didn't have to improve anymore, and so he just didn't improve anymore.
And
He
has
wasn't
continued to not improve.
if anything, his style has degraded. Although if you look at some of his older work, it's just as bad in my opinion. Like he is a product of an older time. There are artists who are exceeding him in skill by the millions, let's face it.
Yeah.
And the fact that he's still trying to like push this whole I made Fairly Odd Parents and Danny Phantom. Like, no, you didn't. First of all, that was not purely you. You had a huge team working on that. You came up with the idea. That doesn't mean you worked on the whole thing. Um, but
There are
also,
people out here at this point making better animations than your full concepts
yeah, and they're posting it on YouTube for free. And
for free.
I just want to say, I also feel bad. Not I don't feel bad for clowning on him. I feel bad for him because to me, like, doesn't he take any pride in improving as an artist? Doesn't he take any pride in listening to other people and listening and hearing other creators who are maybe younger than him teach their skills and learn from it? I truly think he thinks that his art style is appealing and he sticks with it because he's comfortable in it and he's not willing to take any risks.
I
And
don't think
that's the worst part to me.
I don't think I have a lot of sympathy for him just purely based on the fact of like his ideologies, and
Oh my
he's
god, yeah, fuck
much more
that.
older to not be so like immature and act like he's so much better than everybody else for making an animated series.
I don't know about that. I just think his ego has blocked him from any improvement. And I think that probably goes for his personality too. But it shows in his art because let's face it, art is a reflection of us. The what we create is a reflection of how we feel a lot of the time. And to me, this screams washed up and stuck in a time where he was successful and now he's not. And that is kind of shitty and depressing to me. Like, I don't know. I think I see how you can fall into the pit that is Butch Hartman's reality, and I want to avoid it. It's like a cautionary tale. Don't become Butch Hartman because you'll lose. Oh, Bengo disappeared. Bengo disappeared. He left the conversation.
Oh,
He said, "I'm
Bengo's just
out."
gone.
Well,
All right. Well, I guess.
I guess I have to finish out the episode on my own.
Oh my.
I'm dying. Okay,
That's
guys. Well,
hilarious.
I was just in my little tangent, but I
That's
guess I should finish out the episode. How long have we been going for?
an hour.
Oh, an
And
hour? Okay,
25
well,
seconds.
we were gonna talk about Chris Pratt, but I don't know if I can talk about Chris Pratt without
Hold on.
my homie.
Oh, Bengo message in the chat. Bengo.
What?
Issue after issue with Discord. I bet Discord crashed.
Oh no, he's coming back. Okay. In the meantime, closing thoughts about Butch Hartman. Yeah, I think he needs to work on his style and. Oh, then he's back,
Ah, welcome
dude.
back.
You disappearing killed me.
I'm on my phone right now because
Oh my god, this is a throwback to how bad it is. What
my
happened to your
Discord is
computer?
it's not opening on my computer right now. I might have to restart my computer.
Oh my god. Well, we have been going for an hour. We could just close it out here.
Yeah, with my new shitty audio. Hey
This has been
everyone.
an episode of just a lot of issues. Discord's been acting up today.
This
Just cut out. Anyway, we
What?
should probably say goodbye.
I got booted over here.
What?
It booted me back into the call.
Oh.
Okay, well, welcome
Well,
back.
okay.
Hi. You have
Hi.
Do you think we should talk about Chris Pratt or should we end it?
I don't wanna.
You want to talk about Chris Pratt?
If Discord can hold out a little bit longer.
Yeah, okay, so we won't end it here. Let's talk about him. I think we're done with Butch Hartman. I've said all I need to say. How about you?
Yeah, my opinions will just be that I'm just disappointed as a person who like grew up with Fairly Odd Parents and like really loved the show. It's just a disappointing thing to see someone who like actively advocates against like people, like
Oh,
gay
that
people and
too.
stuff.
Yeah, well, fuck his beliefs. He's a piece of shit for that.
Yeah,
Artistically, I just think he's a huge example of
artistically, I
what to
think he's a
not become.
douchebag.
Yeah, don't become him because it's depressing and yeah, you're not going to get anywhere with an attitude like that.
Yeah, learning lesson: don't peak in high school.
Don't peak when you reach success. Realize you can always improve.
You can
Artistically and
always
as a
get
person.
better.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Chris
Chris
Pratt.
Pratt.
Do we want to talk about it? Let's talk about it.
Let's go quick. We'll bang them out.
Okay, so I'm going to Instagram. If you guys aren't on TikTok, and you aren't on the side of TikTok, we are. TikTok has been bombarding me with Chris Pratt's recent Instagram posts,
Roast.
and it's horrific. It's a bad time. And okay, so
I think it mostly stems from the Super Mario movie release.
and then so the meme of him getting a bunch of voice acting roles is
I
ridiculous.
contributed to it.
I mean, it's a funny meme. Like, why are they picking him? He's so boring.
He has
doesn't
the
have an
best.
interesting.
He has the best fucking manager right now. I like.
That's so true. Whoever is his whoever's getting these gigs for him is on it.
Yeah,
But like,
whoever is his Hollywood management, like, goddamn, they're working overtime.
but I also think like I don't know if this is good for his PR because people are going in on him now.
Well,
Like he's
making
reached
so many
superstardom and
more.
people. So I want to read the post that everyone's mad about. So this is after the release of like he's gonna play Mario in the Super Mario movie. He's gonna play Garfield in the new Garfield movie. Um,
Voices.
Also, he is a Christian, but he's not like a sweet Christian. He's the Christian that donates to Christian foundations that are directly anti-LGBT and directly like I don't remember seeing that he claimed that he would cure autism. I don't remember seeing that.
I saw
But
something about that to do with other stuff.
okay, his foundations might the foundations he donates to could easily do that. I don't know for sure. But the ones that he is given money to are definitely anti-LGBT, and so that's been a big meme is that he hates the gays, and I honestly would believe it because he's sus. All right, he's sus. But the the camel that broke the straw's back is this post, and it's his post about his new wife. Here's some context. His his ex-wife and him had a kid. That kid has a lot of health problems. Keep that in mind as I read this little post, this Insta post.
I'll keep it in mind. I'll keep it locked in.
Actually, I'm gonna have Kai open the image. I'm gonna
Or we
send
get a
it.
visual.
I'm gonna because the image itself is important too. This is me stealing from TikTok because TikTok has covered this extensively, but I want our viewers to also experience this.
Okay,
You
but
guys are being
TikTok
held
just like
hostage.
TikTok is just news, and we're just gonna be our own little news network.
So true.
It's
We're
not theft
here.
if we're covering the news.
So true. I just stole the idea from TikTok.
Oh.
Uh
Oh,
okay, good. That's fine. That's the image we want. I'm gonna read the excerpt, okay?
why do they look like a Sears catalog?
Oh, you dude. Okay, I'm gonna read it, okay?
Okay,
Starting now.
okay. Understood.
Guys, for real. Look how she's looking at me. I mean, find you somebody that looks at you like that, you know? We met in church. She's given me an amazing life, a gorgeous, healthy daughter. She
Ugh.
chews so loudly that sometimes I put in my earbuds to drown it out. But that's love. She helps me with everything. In return, periodically, I open a jar of pickles. That's the trade. Her heart is pure and it belongs to me. My greatest
No, it
treasure
doesn't.
right next to me to my Ken Griffey Jr. Upper Deck rookie card, which if you know is saying a lot. It's her birthday in about 6 weeks, so if I don't get her anything, I'll tell her to look back on this post. Love you, honey. Heart, heart. Let's break this down, shall we? Okay. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts before I go in?
First of all, somebody get their dad off Instagram. It's the comment about the chewing loudly, and then the
Bruh,
being like,
so
"But that is
unnecessary.
love." It's like that's like the type of people who are like in a relationship with someone that they don't like that at all, and they're like, "This is fine, right? Like this is fine. I'm fine."
Yeah. This is dude, we hate each other, but it's great. I'm so happy.
I
Oh
damn.
god. Pepper, chill.
This is such an off the rails
This is
episode.
a chaotic episode. I apologize, but you know what? It's
I
fine.
apologize too.
Um, okay. Yes, I agree with you on all those things. But
It's so like
bruh.
I don't like being in this relationship.
Okay, so let me break this down for you on what TikTok and I agree is what's actually happening in this post. Let's go. Okay.
Okay.
So him mentioning a healthy daughter is so fucked up. Can we just agree that
It's
that's
out of
fucked up?
pocket.
Because his kid with his ex-wife is sickly and that's just so out of pocket and not okay to say that. Like I get it if
Yeah.
you're happy to have a kid that is healthy, but
Yeah,
it's
I'd
implying
understand being very grateful that your second child is not
isn't
sickly.
but it's making it about him because he says how does he word it?
My
She's
a gorgeous, healthy daughter.
given me an amazing life, a gorgeous healthy daughter. He's saying she gave that to him. It's about him. And
Yeah.
it's not about like, "Oh, I'm happy that my second child doesn't have to suffer like my first one has." No, it's about him.
But,
It's
like,
about
I'm just
him getting a
happy that
healthy
they're not
kid.
going like, this kid's not going through what my other kid is going through, which is very unfortunate.
Exactly. Exactly. It's about how he feels. It's about what she's given him.
What
It's
he
all about
doesn't have
him.
to put up with.
It's such a piece of shit, dude. And then the she helps him do like he dude, she helps him with all kinds of shit, and what he does for her is the joke is that he opens a pickle jar. And God
Yeesh.
forbid she chews loudly. Like, this is horrific. This is a horrific post.
It just gives me, like, boomer love, you know what
Yeah,
I'm
but,
saying?
like,
Like, I hate my
boomers are
wife.
the misogynistic, like, "I hate my wife, but we're still together
Yeah, that's
because of
what it
Jesus."
gives me, like, boomer love.
It's cursed. It's so cursed. What TikTok has been saying, and I agree with, is that they theorize that it's a whole, like, he's trying to do what the actor of Deadpool does. What is his name?
Ryan Reynolds?
He's trying to do what Ryan Reynolds does, where he's like he's a superstar, but he's still relatable and funny. But Chris Pratt's a Christian man, so he can't possibly get the same vibe. So instead, it
Chris
comes off
Pratt
like
is
a
not
freak.
relatable at all.
He's so like
But the unfortunate fact is that he is relatable to a specific group that is very similar to him, which is everyone who goes to church with him.
right. Also, like the comparing her to a fucking baseball card. I'm
Rough.
sorry, that's so gross to me. That got me fucked up. I'm sorry. Like, ew. First of all, ew. Second of all, ew. Gross. So
Rough.
this
All around.
this post disgusting. We hate it. We absolutely hate it. There's another I know on his story he posted of like she was clipping his toenails. I don't
Out of
know.
pocket.
So out of pocket. Like, can
You're
we
done.
not? You're done.
You're done. I don't know. Mm, I think I'm just like I'm like, can we all just get off the whatever the Pratt train here? Can we all just like deny, not give
Stop
any
hiring this
attention?
guy. He's
Yeah.
literally just like boring white man.
Yeah.
He
It's like
peaked. He peaked in Parks and Rec. Now he sucks. Like, boo. Get him out. Get him out of here.
he did an okay performance in Guardians of the Galaxy, but it's not like I was watching it for him. All the other
He
characters were a lot more good.
I mean, he's fine as an actor, but he's a piece of shit. Like he supports foundations that directly hurt other people. He's a bad guy. Like, I
And then
don't care
he's
what
like,
anyone says.
I had to go listen to my Christian music in the woods, and it was so relieving
Oh my god. Yeah, so
after the big bad internet.
yeah, post backlash, I actually want to Google Chris Pratt response to backlash. Sorry I have to read it all out, but if I don't read it all out, I'll fuck it up. 5 days ago. I want to see his response. Okay. Oh my god. I hate all these news sites. They suck. Just give me the video. This is me just raging.
This is like a quote that I found. It was like, I knew that if I put on my Christian music playlist and got out in the woods and ran, that I'd feel better. Chris Pratt.
I can't find it, but yeah.
That's
It was
pretty much
on
what it was
Twitter.
in the video. It was his Instagram story that he
He
was
was wearing a
posting.
he was wearing like a cap. He just looked
There was
really like
so much. Yeah.
that's why I want to bring up the video because the video itself is just so
It's
yeah,
so much. I
it's
can
so
pull up an
much.
image that I found because it was a lot. It is
Oh, he was feeling upset and depressed, quote unquote.
yeah, this was one of the images. There was a
He's like
lot.
okay, so he's in the bathroom in his house, I assume. He's rubbing his eye at one point. He's
I
got
have
like this.
submitted.
He's got a camo hat on.
I've submitted a visual reference guide.
Guy, pull that up. Pull that image up. It's important.
Yeah, he's got like an American flag sweatshirt on. Like, I think it's just
There
so
it
like
is.
unnecessarily political out of nowhere.
Look at the fucking American flag sweatshirt and the camo hat.
With
It's
the
just
I think there's an American flag on that. I could be
yeah,
wrong.
on the hat itself.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. So
Oh,
this is
I
what he
saw it
said.
from another angle. It's just got stripes.
Okay, so here's what it says. I went to bed really kind of upset and depressed, and I woke up feeling crappy, and I didn't want to work out. I didn't want to. I knew though if I put on my Christian playlist and I got out in the woods and ran that, I would feel better, but I just didn't want to. I did it anyways, and gosh, I was right. It felt amazing. That's what he said post everyone being like, "You're nasty, bro. You're nasty. You're a little grimy man saying that about your wife."
And the whole like Garfield
Oh my god.
peeking.
Dude, like so I watched another TikTok. This is where I get all my info. I watched another TikTok where they're like breaking down how people like him, he's a great example of like he used to be super relatable in the public eye, but as he's drifted into superstardom, he's lost that support and people have kind of turned on him.
Yeah, it's
I
kind of
under
like the Emma Chamberlain effect.
Exactly. It's like once this relatable person stops being relatable, people turn on him. The difference is Emma Chamberlain doesn't support anti-LGBT movements. Like Emma
True.
Chamberlain doesn't talk about her wife like a like she's a fucking piece of property.
No, but
Like
you know what I mean? Like she was one of the biggest cases of like
exactly.
relatability getting immediately shifting no matter what you do, like no matter
Yeah.
if your values are the same.
I think that's inevitable if you are someone who's like your whole brand is relatability. I think that that's not ever a good idea. Don't make your brand relatability because it's inevitably going to fall apart when you reach stardom if you do, right?
Yeah.
And what the sad part is people who are relatable tend to reach stardom because people relate to them. But once they reach stardom, it's not relatable anymore when they're buying like Gucci in mass and
Yeah.
supporting anti-LGBT fucking movements. Like, I don't know. It's interesting, but I think there's a difference in like a lot of YouTube creators have that problem because they are so interpersonal with their viewers. Whereas like
Yeah.
actors don't have that directly as much. But
But he's a case of one of the actors.
he is a big case of one of those kinds of actors just kind of falling off. I mean, he's not falling off in the sense of getting jobs, but he's falling off in the public eye because people don't really like him. Oh, you're gonna play the video?
Oh,
No, this is an image confirming that it is an American flag hat. Or
Oh,
wait, it's a
it
reverse
is.
flag. Unless the video's mirrored.
the video's
The
mirror,
video's
but
probably
then that
mirrored,
it wouldn't make sense because his
right?
jacket is a American flag.
I think it might just
Oh
be an
yeah,
American flag
I
with a
think
low quality.
yeah.
Like that's so cursed too. Like he's appealing to like the being the all American Christian guy, and a lot of people don't like that image anymore. Like the internet is over it. We're tired of seeing all American Christian men.
Now we'll play the video.
Hey.
Oh my god, let's fucking go. Let's You guys make your
Give.
decision on your own. Play that shit. Hit it.
Good morning, everybody. I woke up, well, I went to bed last night really kind of upset and depressed, and I woke up feeling crappy. And I didn't want to work out. I didn't want to. I knew, though, that if I put on my Christian music playlist and I got out in the woods and ran, that I'd feel better, but I just didn't want to. And I did it anyways, and gosh, was I right. It felt amazing. I got out in the woods, got my blood pumping, and God is like, sat down there right next to me. I say this as a guy who I don't get emotional that often, but I actually got emotional out in the woods. I was out in the woods on this run, and I just felt like there was another in the fire standing next to me. And that was the song, actually. I don't know. I think that's the lyric in the song. I don't know the name of the song. It's a really good one. But that moment, it really captured me. And so I just want to say all glory to God. And if you
Oh
feel
my
down
God.
today, maybe get a exercise and maybe listen to some good worship music or get the word in, because it really helped me this morning.
What?
Okay, I have so many thoughts.
The copium
How-
is strong.
This sounds like an ad. I don't know why. It just gives off like ad for Jesus energy.
Because it is. That's all that fundamentalist Christians do, is like everything they do is an ad for Jesus. Like they're always trying to turn everybody
Like I
into
feel
little
like he should be
Christians.
saying hashtag spons at the bottom of that.
Sponsored by Jesus.
It's ad for Jesus.
It's
It's
just
like so out of pocket. Like you're just like, it's like if you were just like, I was
everything
feeling
about that
kind of
video
down.
is so cursed. Like here this guy is. He's a millionaire, right? Because
Yeah.
he's a millionaire, and he's like, I was feeling down because people are being mean to me. My wife, which people were
My
not being
wife.
mean about his wife, by the way. People were mad about how he was talking about his wife. Like, people were not angry at his wife at all. They were mad at him.
Yeah.
Like, he's fucking. And then him going, I just needed to listen to some worship music. Like, bruh.
It's like if you just heard like I wake up one morning, I'm like, I was feeling like really down, like really shitty this morning. But I went out and I turned on my gay ass music and it really lifted my spirits.
I mean,
I
that would
went
be a
out and I
valid
turned
thing.
on my Lady Gaga and my Nicki Minaj. And I felt like Nicki was right next to me
Yeah, I
when
mean,
I was running.
right. I think that it is also like it feels so disingenuous. It's like that's not if that's how you dealt with how sad you feel, like you are so privileged, dude. Like
True.
come on. If that's the worst that you have to deal with, it's not because of Jesus, it's because you're a millionaire. You can just walk into your little McMansion and be fine.
I just I just find the whole like the worship music to be just so out of pocket
Uh,
in the video.
well,
Like
it's
it's like
all
out of
really
nowhere with his outfit too.
it's not out of nowhere. It's all an aesthetic of that video. He's got the American flag twice.
Well, yeah.
He's I don't know where maybe he was filming on the toilet or like I don't know where he was filming, but I don't know the energy
You
of that
hear him
video.
farting. Just add fart sounds to it.
Oh no, what is Kai doing? You just hear the echoey fart in the distance.
You hear someone pissing in the background. He's in a public bathroom.
You hear someone like coughing in the distance. He's like, I was
Yeah.
feeling really down this morning.
You hear someone like audibly taking a shit. They're like struggling. Oh yeah, yo, could you fucking stop? Could you shut up? I'm trying to
Someone's
take a
banging
shit
on the
here.
stall door. They're like, "Shut up! I'm trying to shit."
Yo, who the
Bruh.
fuck is talking about Christian music in here? Get out.
You rock it with Christian music?
Yeah, I usually listen to that new rock song when I work out. I'm so you didn't want to talk oh, you're making a video? Oh, sorry. I could go somewhere
Bruh.
else.
Yeah, overall, I give it like a 0 out of actually, I give it a 10 out of 10 because I think it's hilarious, the whole
Oh
aesthetic of
yeah.
his video.
I need to see someone edit it into like the bathroom setting.
I mean, we'll have to be the ones to do that.
True. There needs to be distant pissing. Somebody is like using the air, like the hand dryer midway through the video too, that drowns him out.
I mean, the reality is he's like wiping his ass with gold-plated toilet paper. He's like it
Yeah.
is he's got like a gamer bathroom. There's like LEDs on the walls. Like,
Oh my god, you don't know how bad I want to do that. You don't understand how if like as soon as I move out, my bathroom is going to just be LEDs everywhere.
no, you are not gonna have a gamer bathroom.
You walk into you
Stop.
walk into my bathroom. and it's like,
Stop.
oh my-
No.
It'd be
No.
so funny.
It would be funny, but I hate that.
It would be so funny.
Oh my god, dude. No. Not
That's
the
pretty
gamer
awesome.
bathroom. Oh.
You walk into my bathroom and you're blinded
We
by
have
the
a gamer
toilet.
bathroom. We have one single light bulb.
LED light.
Yeah. Can change the color on
You're
that.
just blinded by the toilet.
Oh yeah, we do have like a
We have an
color changing
RGB.
LED. We have an RGB light in the bathroom. I forget it exists there.
Then don't
then
act like it's not a great idea.
I mean, I walked in there. I can walk in there and Kai can change it from his phone. So occasionally when I'm showering, I get red. I think he
Just
forgot it
red.
existed.
Just pure
Hey.
red.
It's very unsettling. It's a bad vibe all around.
I think it
Sometimes
would be a really
blue.
funny idea.
It's pretty
Well,
funny.
I will. Kai, you shouldn't. We shouldn't have said anything because my plan was when you come to visit us, you go into the bathroom and then we just change the lights up on you.
Yeah,
I'll
true.
forget.
You will not forget. You'll be like, I want to see the gamer bathroom.
I've been concussed like how many times?
It's Soph this time. So, no, you're not.
Dude, it's not.
Bengo? Oh, it is
Discord.
Discord. Wow, what was that? That was
Discord is a
Discord is
nightmare.
messing up. Yeah.
It's fucking us up, dude. It's not fair.
You ruined my groove.
Anyways,
Anyway.
what was I saying?
Anyways,
I forgot what I was gonna say. I totally got derailed. Thanks a lot, Discord. Get it together.
We're an hour and 26 minutes in.
Yeah, we're good. This is enough. You heard us talk about shitty
yeah.
Christian white men for long enough.
Shitty Christian white men, Dream SMP, faking disorders, and beekeeper beef.
I love the bee. I need to see the beekeeper beef.
I
'cause
can try to
saw
find it again.
the
give it
girl
to
that I
you.
saw. I'm pretty sure is that girl because she like was holding them in her
Yeah,
bare
and she's like,
hands.
these are my bees that I am going to rehome, and they're going to find a new place where they will be safe.
And then
And
she's like,
bare hands.
they won't hurt me. They're very sweet and docile. I'm like, bitch, there's a bunch of fucking bees on your hand. The fuck? Put on some fucking gloves, you crazy fucking asshole. What are you doing?
If you just project a nice, gentle energy to the
Yeah,
bees,
that's what she was saying.
that
And I was
these
like,
bees will not harm you in any
Li-
way.
listen, I'm gullible. I was like, that's cool. That's sick. I love bees. Now I know that she was a liar. She was being not safe.
No, she was being very unsafe.
She was being very unsafe.
Uh,
You said it, not me.
I need to leave.
Okay, I need to poop, so we should end this
Yeah.
episode.
I'm hungry.
I'm hungry.
I am. I've been
I'm
living off
probably
of like soup.
I ate one duo sunburst for breakfast, so I need to eat something different.
I at least had a burger today, but like I've been living off
Burger.
of soups and ice cream.
Oh yeah, your little toothies hurt. I can't wait to get that tooth.
It's all yours.
I can't wait. Can't wait. Anyways, that's all for today.
That's been it.
Thanks for coming to our TED Talk. See you
If
later.
you're still here, goodbye.
Goodbye.
Well, if you're still somehow here.
Oh my god, I'm tiny. You know what? I'm leaving. I'm leaving.
If you're still here, say in the comments, hi, it's me, your favorite. She's actually gone. Like, she actually left. What a time. Oh.
Did we end the recording? What?